Failed diets. Jungkook has been caught eating for a long time. Nothing surprised ARMY more than one simple yet human fact about BTS's Jungkook. He's been eating for a long time, and it seems like that habit has never really gone away despite his many diet attempts. This fact reemerged after several old footage, staff stories, to pieces of old interviews suddenly went viral and sparked a new discussion among netizens. Everyone wondered, how could an idol with a body as perfect as Jungkook have such a big appetite? And is it true that the diet program that he did for years often ended up failing because of his penchant for food? Actually, the story of Jungkook who likes to eat is not new. From the trainee days, other BTS members have often described Jungkook as the youngest child who is always looking for snacks, stealing Hyung's food, to eating twice as many servings as the average person. Even Jimin once joked in one of the V-Live broadcasts that Jungkook can eat anything in front of him, while Jeon with his trademark style once mimicked Jungkook who still chews even when doing something else. Little stories like this are once again strong evidence that Jungkook's eating habits are not something that comes later, but rather part of his life from a long time ago. But what made this topic go viral again was precisely the latest video from one of BTS's internal documentary shows in which Jungkook is seen secretly eating bread right before a heavy workout begins. In the video, Jungkook was caught on camera unwrapping bread while looking around to make sure no one noticed. When he realized that the moment was being recorded, he just laughed a little and said, "I'm hungry." Simple, but enough to make ARMY explode in ignorant comments. Whose diet is failing? Jungkook, who's hungry again. What makes this story even more interesting is how Jungkook is often considered the most disciplined idol in maintaining the body. He often shares workout routines, cardio exercises, and other healthy habits. But behind his discipline, there is a very relatable human side: his great love for food. Not a few fans feel that this makes Jungkook feel closer, more real, and not at all a perfect figure without mistakes. Even when he admitted to going on extreme diets eating only one of the same foods for days, many felt it added even more sympathy and admiration to his way of struggling. A former staffer who worked with Jungkook at the beginning of the debut era once said that Jungkook was the type of idol who could eat a lot but still work twice as hard to balance it out. He never really stopped eating, but he also never stopped training, he said in a long-running interview. The staff also mentioned that Jungkook often carries small snacks in his bag, ranging from sandwiches, jerky, to pieces of fruit, just to make sure he doesn't starve during training breaks. This story immediately sparked funny comments from netizens who said Jungkook seemed to live in two modes: eating mode and training mode. Even the ARMY, which followed Jungkook's activities from the very beginning, has long known that many iconic moments are related to food. Starting from the scene of eating ramen at BTS's Run, his habit of tasting other members' food without permission, to the moment when he was seen very focused on biting into burgers during a concert break. One of the most viral moments was when a fan site captured a photo of Jungkook eating while standing backstage, with a face showing how delicious the food was. The photo became an international meme with the caption "Jungkook be like, concert later, food now." However, many also look at this topic from a more warm and emotional side. When Jungkook talked about his childhood, he once said that he came from a simple family and could not always enjoy good food every day. The confession led many fans to believe that her love of food may have to do with a struggling past. There was gratitude in every bite, satisfaction in every mouthful he enjoyed. And perhaps, in silence, it is a small gift that he has given himself after working so hard to be a person who can be proud of his family and his fans. Then what about the failed diet rumors that are back in full swing? Many soldiers felt that Jungkook's diet had never really failed, that failure was simply the public's expectation that idols should look perfect without the slightest mistake. Jungkook proves that even an idol is a human being who can have a hobby to eat, can enjoy life, and can show his innocent and funny side. And in fact, Jungkook's body shape remains amazing even though he is known to eat a lot, which shows that he knows how to balance things out. Some netizens even commented that Jungkook's eating habits are precisely one of his charms. He is not only an idol with an athletic body and an alluring voice, but also someone who enjoys life in the simplest way, through food. Maybe that's why when he was eating, he looked really happy. And, As always, he was happy to see her happy. Now, with all the old videos coming back, new documentaries sparking laughter, and staff stories reinforcing the recognition that Jungkook is indeed a funny glutton, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. Jungkook is not a diet failure. He just loves food too much to pretend he's not hungry. And that honesty is what makes him so beloved. In the end, the story of Jungkook and his hobby of eating is not a story about failure to maintain a diet pattern, but a story about someone who dares to be himself despite being in the spotlight of the world. A global idol who still eats bread while hiding behind the camera, still steals other members' snacks, and still says, "I'm hungry," in the middle of a busy schedule. That's not a weakness. It's a human side that's rarely seen in a figure with as much popularity as him. And the most surprising thing is not the fact that Jungkook loved to eat a long time ago. What is surprising is how his habit makes the world fall in love with him more and more, day by day. But the story about Jungkook and his hobby of eating doesn't stop at just funny videos and innocent confessions that make ARMY shudder. The deeper into tracing his career journey, the more it appears how food becomes an integral part of his life journey, as if a silent witness that accompanies every phase of the growth and development of a child from Busan, who later became a global superstar. Even some Korean journalists have written that Jungkook is the best representation of the healing idol. Not because he tries to look perfect, but because he shows how wonderful it is to be human as he is, including when it comes to eating. Behind the grand concert stage, the brightly lit lights, and the sound of screaming fans breaking the air, there are small moments when Jungkook is seen sitting alone holding his favorite lunchbox or drink. Some staff once leaked that food for him is not just a charger, but also a way to calm the mind. When he is too tired, too stressed, or immersed in a non-stop workout, food is often the simple escape that makes him feel like he is back to being himself. There is even a story that Jungkook once asked for taekook in the middle of the night after a very hard day, and when the dish finally arrived, the look of relief on his face made the staff smile along. This habit increasingly looks unique when faced with an idol world that demands almost inhuman body standards. Many idols hide their love of food in order to maintain their image, but Jungkook often seems unable to hide it. On many occasions, the camera captured the expression of Jungkook's eyes that immediately sparkled whenever he saw a table full of food. Not infrequently, he is the first person to sit down and taste everything, while the other members are still discussing or busy with other things. Fanbase often joke that if there is a competition who is the fastest to find good food on set, Jungkook is definitely the defending champion. This cuteness became even more apparent when netizens found a compilation of Jungkook eating videos, from eating quickly to eating while fully focused like no other world. The videos went viral not only because they looked funny,